Hi guys, welcome back. And today we are going to discussing our Xpath locator in our Selenium. Okay. If you see in the previous sessions, we discussed about our ID, name, class name, and link test and partial link test. Okay. These are the five locators we discussed in our previous session. Now, how we can able to achieve this Xpath and what is the requirement we have already specified. And in this case, what will happen, right? We have some couple of things, right? ID, name, and class name. In case if these three attributes are not presented, how you can able to create your locator? Okay, how you can able to create? How you can able to improve that? And how to achieve that? In case if there is no ID name at all, right? Other attributes are presented. For example, if I'm going to here, Google will inspect this element. Okay. Now in this X path, I'll copy this locator. Okay. In this locator, if you see, right, if you remove this class name, okay, and if you remove a name attribute, and if you remove ID attribute, okay, you removed for all the things. Okay. Now imagine how you can able to communicate with the other things, right? This is a $1 million question again. Okay. Now, by using our X path, we can able to achieve to communicate. Without these three also, we can able to communicate. How? Means we have other attributes called area control, which is ID it is presented. Okay, area once is there. This is a attribute and this is a value. Autofocus, empty, we can't use it. But title it is there is a search title. Okay, area label also is a search, we can able to use it. Okay, and remaining thing of this false conditions are there, right? We can't use it. Role is combo box, this also not used because in case if there is any other things are presented, definitely our script will be failed. Okay, data VD, there is a ID set, maybe it is a constant. If it is constant, we can able to use. If it is keep on change, we can't use it. Okay, these are the areas we can able to reuse it. And also, what is the syntax of your XPath? Okay, syntactically, if you go ahead and see, right, there is two slash and tag name, and there is a two square boxes. Inside the square box, we are going to at the rate symbol with the attribute equal to, and a double quotation or single quotation we are specifying for attribute value. Okay, attribute equal to attribute value. This is like we are going to specify, and this is the XPath is basically a relative XPath. We call it as a relative XPath. What is the relative XPath? And what is there any other XPath is presented? Yes. There are two ways we can able to create our XPath. One is absolute path. Okay, one is absolute path and another one is relative path. What absolute path can do? Absolute path is basically when you go ahead here, if you see, this is my header of this HTML tags. Okay, we need to go one by one and we need to find our locator, then only we can able to hit it. How we can able to? Now you can see, maybe you will see in very smaller screen. Okay, and don't worry, I'll copy paste into our notepad after finding that. Okay, first is top to down. Okay, HTML is my header. Okay, after that we have to use for one slash and we need to use for body of this. Okay, body. Now our body is highlighted. After the body we have for highlighted is a dev. Okay, slash dev. You can see dev is got highlighted. Now in this dev, which one is the dev? It is open here. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, third dev. Now slash dev and three is my. Okay, Now my third dev also highlighted. After that, which one we need to use? And we need to use for form is the one. Okay, next is a form. Now I iterated a form. Form also highlighted. Now next one we need to use for dev again. Okay, slash dev. Again one more dev is the dev. Okay, inside the dev again one more dev it is presented. You can see, right, one more dev. Okay, and slash dev. Okay, and again inside the dev another dev. Okay, in this inside the dev there are two devs are presented, and we need to use for dev square base 2. Okay, because we need to skip for that. Okay, and then we have for inside that it is presented for text area. You can see inside that dev, inside that dev we have for text area. Okay, if you go ahead here and use for tag name called a text area. Okay, see now one particular text box is highlighted. Here you can see one of one. Okay, I'm copying this entire path. I'm going back to here. I'm specifying here absolute path location, and this is my absolute path. Means one by one it will go ahead and provide for each and everything. In case if you don't know that how to find it and how to write this path after seeing also, then you can go ahead here and right click on that particular element. Okay, copy here, and here there is a, see, copy locator, copy selector, HTML, and full XPath. Copy XPath, full XPath. Okay, full XPath I'm going to click now. Okay, you can paste it, full XPath. This is called full XPath. Okay, and you can see here I mentioned here dev 1 it is there, and dev 3 and form, and again dev 1, dev 1, dev 1, dev 2, and text area. Same thing, but here I mentioned for a couple of places, and remaining one place I'm not mentioned. That is the only the different. Okay. Now absolute expert, how it will be there. Absolute this is the absolute expert. How about the relative expert? This we specified it, right? Now based upon that, two forward slashes with the tag name called text area. Text area, this is my text area. Okay, I'll specify, and two square braces at the rate symbol we need to specify for attribute. Okay, the attribute which we can able to use it here, we can see area control also we can able to use. This also we can use. We can specific one, we can try title. Okay, title with the searching is there. Okay, I'll copy this particular path and I'll specify here. Okay, this is my text area. If I copy this one, okay, I'll remove this entire path and I'll specify here. Now you can see one of one it is highlighted again. Okay, and in case if you don't want to specify for the tag name, okay, you can use for star symbol. This also will work out, but this will gives you sometimes as a false, because the same attribute in case somebody use for some other tag name, that moment it will fail it. Okay, that moment it will fail, or it will highlight for two elements are presented. Okay, two elements are presented. If you are not specify the tag name with the title and all, right, if you use directly star, right, this moment in case that particular attribute if they are already used for any other element location also, that moment what will happen, it will show like WebDriver, it will found for two elements are presented in your which one I want to click, like that we can able to get some error also. Okay, but most of the time not recommended. Very rare case you can able to use it. In case if that particular tag name is only one it is there, sorry, attribute is only one it is there, then you can able to reuse it. Okay, this way we can able to create, we can able to see now how we can able to hit it this one. Okay, now I'm copying this one and I'm pasting here. This is my locator 2. Okay, now I don't want to do this all the things, and this also not require. This clicking is not required right now. Okay, and here we can able to use for by place, we can use for Xpath. Okay, and this Xpath we identified this is the path, right? I will copy this Xpath and I'll specify this one. Okay, I will specify a single quotation. Okay, double quotation. Okay, I'm specifying the double quotation inside here the single quotation. Okay, now I'll mark it as a clearance, and here again I'll use for sending the keys, and we are entering that one. Okay, now I'm saved it and clicking that explorer. Now it is my third test case. I want to run it. Okay, now whether it will hit or not, we can see. Now the browser is hit. Oh shit, I use it for here. Sorry, our script will be failed because we used for make it your one. Now one more time I'm going to run because we are used for Google, then it is finding for that particular make it your one. Okay, now it is completed. Okay, now our test case got passed. Okay, like this we can able to specify the text. Do we have anything we need to use to create our XPath means? Yes, we have four different path to creations. Uh, in relative path also we can able to like in case for suppose you want to find the same relative path but extension path is presented like some place the element is not presented means that particular attribute nothing is there zero means only for tag name it is presented but remaining things we have so many things then what we can able to do at that moment what will happen for up to here we can able to use and we can able to use for tag names. Okay, like a dev and we can specify that which index position it is presented like this we can able to use and we can able to find our element like this also absolute path with after that what all elements are presented that moment we can able to use this as well. Okay, and here what will happen this is double indication is presented. This is starting with the matching anywhere in the documentation. Okay, anywhere in the documentation. Okay, double forward slash is nothing but it will matches or it will selected matching elements anywhere in the document. Document is nothing but HTML page. This entire HTML page it will find it. Single is basically a starting selection from the documentation node starts with a head. That is called absolute path. It's a single forward slash. You can able to get for this as well in an interview question as well. Okay, and we have another kind of information that is called text. Okay, contains. There are two methods. One is contains and another one is text. These are the two functions we have. Okay, two functions are two methods we can able to call. These are two methods we have. Okay, how you can able to use it this particular functions methods. Okay, for this you can able to see Google search. If you search this particular element, you can come back here. You can see this is the input tag. There is a value called Google search. Okay, and here the I'm really is a feeling lucky. Okay, and this moment it is very difficult to handle. Now we can go for make tools. Now submit is the one. Come back here. It's also decision. Ah, see here there is a placeholder also, but placeholder it will first name with the placeholder only we can try, but I want to see a separate value after the button is here this submit button. Okay, submit button is inside this see button opened here and closed here in the between submit is there. Okay, this by default the submit we need to capture. Okay, that how we can able to use it. The contains function we can able to use, we can able to identify this particular element. How means we can give the two forward slash with the button is the our name to capturing and square braces, and here we need to use the contains and two open braces and text is equal to and comma and the single quotation we can specify this value. Okay, by using this we can able to identify our function element whether it is identifier or not. I'm going to copy here and I'm specifying the control F and pasting it. See now one of one is matched it. Okay, like this we can able to match up. Okay, now whether we can able to click that particular element or not, we need to see, right, whether that particular function whether it will hit or not. Now I'm going back to here. I'll text area we can. This is my command. Now I'm going to copy this, going to specify this particular requirement. Okay. Now I want to click that particular element, right? Now this is my path. I'll take this my path and I'll come back here and I'll paste my path here. Okay. Now this clearance and all not required. This also not required, and this is also not required. And element dot click function and I specify here and saved it. Okay, now whether we are able to click that particular submit button or not by using the contents function. Okay, now same locator demo 2. Once you click it will see the file this one it will show you, right. This is a one kind of path creations. Okay, and another case also presented that is called text. Okay, what is the difference between this text and contents? Contents is basically it will expect for anything is matched and related to which information we have provided in that particular text place. Okay, this text place which is the amount of things is presented, it will matches and it will find. In case if you matches half of the amount of that particular text, it will shows yes this is the element it is presented. Now you can see here still it is able to after removing the space also, right. Now even you can able to see it is able to identify. Okay, now the difference you can able to see in the text place. Okay, now I'll remove this one and button. Okay, in this button again I'm going to use the squares and here the text equal to, and if you use for submit It should identify, right? But it is not identified. Okay. Now I'm going to here inspecting this particular element. I'll copy this entire information, and this place I'll mark it. Where it is not identified. It should identify. Oh, sorry, it's already identified. One of one. Sorry, one of one. You can see the highlighted. And if you remove this zero, because it is not able to identify, you can see again space also. If you remove the space, there is a spaces are presented. In the starting time, if you remove the space, 0 of 0. When you give the space again, it will identify. Because the text, it will expect for exact value. This is by default, text is the function or method inside our Selenium WebDriver. Okay, by using the inbuilt of text, we can able to reuse it. Okay, but the problem is it will expect for exact value which you specified in that particular element location. Okay, if you are not specified the exact value, then it will not identify. Okay, contains the function, it will hit you when you are matches with the some amount. If it is matches, then contains function, it will find your element and it will provide you. Okay, like this we can able to use our contains and text function. Okay, and there is one more thing, that is or operator and operator. Or operator and operator. What is this? Basically, and operator and or operator is basically a table format of sections, you can able to say. Okay, what will happen if a, you can say, b and result a is giving for true and b false, what will happen here? If you are using for and operator, right, automatically it will fail it. If it is or operator, then it will pass. Only one thing, means any one of the element need to be true. Or operator, when you use the or operator, if two locators, if you are passing as a finding the elementing purpose, that moment what will happen, any one of them is matches, then it will pass it. In case and operator, if you pass, right, if both the elementals match, then only it will give as a true, otherwise it will give as a false. Okay, and then how you can able to create this kind of operators, right? Now here we are used directly a text. Now we can able to see the button is having for id and type is having for submit. Okay, id is a submit and type is this one. Okay, now I'm going to removing this. Okay, now I'm going to copy this element and operator. Now I'm going to use for or operator and operator. Okay, for and operator we can use for and I'm going to specifying for type as well. Okay, I'm going to find here and pasting and closing the square brace. But here we need to use the other rate, and here we need to use the other rate. Now see, one of one it is matched, one of one it is matched. Like this we can able to use for and operator. In case now I'm going to use for submitting location, I'm going to specify one. Now see, automatically and operator is given for zero selections, zero element findings, right? Now in the same case I'm going to use for or operator. Now or operator automatically will find, because it need to match for any one of the element. Type is not matched because we use for type 1 submit 1. Okay, Previous and operated is not given as expected, but and operated is specified. But we can able to see this is a two locators we are going to pass inside that. Okay, and we have four XPath with the starting functions. Okay, in case if you want to pass with the starting some of the value and to find the locator, this also it will help similar format of text and contents. Text and contents. When we use for contents function which is related to this, right? The similar format, this is also one kind of thing, but it will help you to identify by using that attribute. This contains and text is help you to finding inside that buttons what are the value is presented that particular value. But start with function is basically it will provide you to identify by the attribute. Okay, the function is start with function. Okay, start with function. And how it will work, right? The same button I'm going to specifying. Okay, and I'll remove this entire thing that is we need to use for starts with and two braces at the rate id comma, and this place I'm going to use for submit, right? I'm going to specify for half of the amount of value. See, one of one it is matches. Okay, this is basically I'm going to say submit bti, and if I'm going to paste it here like this it is there. Okay, half of the amount is okay. Okay, like this, but it will work for start with function, it is work with attributes. Okay, and we have another things like parent child relationship also. Okay, when this parent child and self functions will work, right, is basically a drop downs. When you want to find some drop down values, that moment it will help you where you can able to see. Now this country attribute, you can say select attribute is there. Okay, this select attribute having some id. Okay, now I'm going to use for id. Now I'm pasting here, and my tag is select, and I'm specifying that my value. Okay, closed it. Okay, now this is exact value I found it. Okay, when you expand these elements and options, it is presented. Oh, we can take it as is. Select and id as skills. Okay, now in this case we have for n number of options, right? N number of options. In these options, we need to identify the parent of this particular thing, right? Now, how you can able to identify two forward slash and parent and two colons, which is the id dev or ed dev. Dev is the parent because select inside the dev only it is present inside the dev, it is presented for select type. That's why we can able to find the parent of this particular one because these are dev options. Okay, now children's you want to identify, select inside the children's which is the one options. Okay, how you can able to identify. Now I'll copy here, and this is my parent related one. And okay, now I'm going to identify it as a child. Okay, child colon options option. Okay, this is called, you can able to see 78 options are presented in the child. You have for 78 options. This way you can able to make it as a child. Okay, you can identify for how many childs are presented, that many childs you can provide for square one selection or two. Like this you can able to specify, and you can able to identify your locator. And self also there. Self is by default, you can able to use colon colon self. Automatically it will select as a self. You can self colon colon select. Okay, now you can see by default in self it is going to select, that is called as a self. Okay, this way we can able to identify our select. Okay, now we have following sibling and preceding sibling as well. Okay, next part we have for following sibling and preceding sibling. How it works for following sibling and preceding siblings, and how it works, right? Following sibling is nothing but which is the following element is presented, all the elements which is presented inside that, right? That all the options it will find out. Okay, following sibling is basically a particular tag we have for two or three elements. At that moment, that particular it will follow that particular sibling only. Example, now now we can go ahead here. Now I'm going to take this one. Okay, now and this is the placeholder, and I'll take the space holder. Okay, now you can see here two square braces, sorry, two following and input, and I'm going to specify this element. Okay, and I'm going to use for following two colons and tag name called input. Okay, you can see 11 inputs are following, 11 inputs are following. Okay, you can able to click after, you can see highlights also it is there. Okay, 11 following siblings are presented. But when you see here, right, there are two things not followed it because it is separated by another dev functions. In this form group having for two buttons. Okay, two buttons. Then how you can able to use to achieve this one. Okay, that moment you can able to use for uh, type as a submit, and this also a type as button is there. Okay, you can able to take for any of this and you can able to use it if the type which is present in text area. This is basically text area, there is nothing is there. Okay, now if you use for here as well, there is a sibling, it will not find you that siblings concept for here. Okay, only for following is. Now I'm going to choose for the submit button. Only it will allow you to in this location. Okay. Now I'm closing this and I'll take ID button at the rate ID to forward slash and following sibling, following sibling, two colons and button. Okay, you can see one particular case it is highlighted. Okay, and preceding sibling is the following sibling is means we need to find the top one and we need to use the below one, that is called following sibling. Preceding sibling is nothing but take the down one and provide the top one. Following all the time it will go for starting to ending. Okay, when you go for preceding ending to top, that is called preceding sibling. Okay, this way we can able to find the following and preceding siblings. Okay, this all about for our entire XPath concept. Okay, I hope it this entire information help for you, and thank you for watching, and please do subscribe and share to your friends and colleagues. Thank you.